Alright, let us begin, I guess. Moment when hysteria of the protesters breaks the reporter's brain. Uh-oh.
Stop the SAVE Act!
Yes. Can you explain? Can you explain to me what the SAVE Act is?
Well, I mean, if you look things up and if people would actually do their research, it is a part of the 2025 agenda that this administration ran on that they denied. Stop the SAVE Act!
Yes. Can you explain? Can you explain to me what the SAVE Act is?
Well, I mean, if you look things up and if people would actually do their research.
The fuck?
It is a part of the 2025 agenda that this administration ran on.
I didn't even look this up. Save Act of 2025. Did they do something new to it? Which one? HR this one, right? Safeguard American Voter Eligibility Act. Oh, isn't this the citizenship to vote or some shit? Striking as used, inserting general by adding the following document proof of United States as used in the act. The term documentary proof of United States citizenship means with respect to an applicant for the voter registration any of the following: a form of identification issued consistent with the requirements of the Real ID Act of 2005 that indicates the applicant is a citizen of the United States. So basically a valid passport, the applicant's official United States military identification card together with the United States military record of service if you have that, valid government issued ID card issued by Fed, state, or tribal government showing the applicant's place of birth was in the United States. So basically a DMV ID, right, if you have that. Valid government issue identification card issued by federal, and described in paragraphs 1 through 4, but only a representative certified. Yeah, it just says the same thing again. Birth certificate. Oh yeah, so you could use your birth certificate too. That's issued by the state. I wonder if you could use like your car registration. I bet you could use that too because it has your oh wait, no, it has to have proof of citizenship. Never mind. All officers will keep records, includes full name, date of birth. Oh wait. Oh wait, no, this is for the birth certificate. Never mind. United States hospital records of birth. Okay. But yeah, this is just saying, hey, you need a valid form of identification saying, hey, I'm a citizen of the United States, basically. Oh, registration with application for motor vehicle driver's license. Oh yeah, right there. Yeah, it works too. There you go. So they even have one for a driver. So this just goes into... I guess this is one way to stop the Democrats from doing what they're doing in the Democratic states. No voter ID laws, right? This way they're gonna fucking put it in the... They're gonna put it in federal law. Hey, fuckheads, now you have to have citizenship, you fucks.
That they denied. But what it amounts to is people really want to what they really want to do is they want 1 vote per household. And in order to do that,
Huh?
you have to stop women from voting.
Huh? What?
And the way that you stop
What? I'm sorry. What did she just say? Good one.
women from voting is that you tell them they have to have 2 forms of ID. Well, you have to have 2 forms of ID.
This
So
guy's
you
like,
have to have
what
a
is
birth
going on?
certificate. You have to have a birth
He's like,
certificate,
okay,
and you
okay,
have
I'm
to
listening.
have a,
All right,
a state ID or,
yes,
or a
please.
driver's license. Well, my last name as a
What
married
is
woman is not going to
happening?
match.
What?
Those items aren't going to match.
You on to something?
So my last name on my birth certificate as a married woman is not going to match my driver's license.
Wait, what?
Which means I can be denied the vote.
Wait,
which
what?
means I can be denied.
Wait, hold
not
on,
my
hold
birth
on.
certificate.
I don't even know what the
So my
fuck is
last name
happening
on my
anymore.
birth
She's
certificate
just
as a married woman is not-
ranting about some fucking dumb shit.
Those items aren't going to match.
You on to something?
So my
What? What do you mean those? I'm so confused at where
last
she's
name on
going
my
with
birth
this.
certificate as a married woman is not going to match my driver's license.
Well, your marriage certificate is not going to match with her driver's license. What? I'm sorry, what does that have to do with the fucking the Save Act? I'm sorry, I'm so confused.
Which means I can be denied the vote.
So how would they be able to fix that problem right there? How would they be able to fix that
Well,
problem?
they can put wording in there that says that won't matter, but they won't put wording in there. The wording is not there that says that women who are married will be exempt from that match.
Wait, what? What is... I don't even... What the fuck? I am so confused. I think, yes, she's a crazy cat lady. I don't even... I don't know if she correctly read the Save Act. I just don't know. I don't know what's happening. Uh-oh. Judge rules. Muhammad Khalil can be deported. Get the fuck out. Allah Akbar. Get the fuck out. Go Allah Akbar somewhere else.
Tonight, lawyers for Mahmoud Khalil vowing to fight his possible deportation. An immigration judge today finding the Trump administration
boom,
can
Allah
remove
Akbar
the
somewhere
Columbia
else.
grad student using
God
a
damn it, I'm
rarely
so
invoked provision of immigration law. Khalil, a leading pro-Palestinian activist on campus, held for the last month in a Louisiana
Go
detention
Allah Akbar
facility
somewhere
after
else.
his arrest in New York.
Go suicide somewhere
The
else. We
30-year-old
don't want
suggesting
you.
at today's hearing he hasn't gotten a fair shake, saying this is exactly why the Trump administration sent me to this court 1,000 miles away from my family. The justification for Khalil's deportation outlined in this State Department memo, citing his alleged participation in anti-Semitic protests and disruptive activities. This with tensions growing between the administration and the courts. A federal judge today appearing troubled by the Justice Department's refusal to provide any details on the whereabouts of Kilmar Abrego Garcia, the Maryland man wrongly deported to El Salvador last month.
This is not about getting information. This is about getting Kilmer back.
The Trump administration initially calling Abrego Garcia's removal an administrative error, given a court order expressly prohibited deportation to El Salvador. Yet the father of 3 was put on one of the highly publicized flights to El Salvador and is now believed to be housed in an infamous prison. The case now reaching the U.S. Supreme Court. The justices agreeing the government must facilitate his release, but cautioning some deference must be owed to the executive branch on foreign affairs. The ultimate outcome far from certain as the courts grapple with the president's mass deportation campaign. As for what comes next here. The court there in Maryland, in a rare move, saying that the Justice Department, Lester, actually has to provide daily status updates on its efforts to get Garcia back home, just underscoring the urgency here, Lester.
All right, Laura, Jerry,
Get
thank
ejected,
you.
bitch.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.
Get fucked. See ya. Peace out. No one wants to see you anymore. Unless you're Mr. Hassan Shithead Piker. Mr. Hamas Piker himself. America. Hey Hassan, wanna talk about your buddy? Huh? Why don't you go Allah Akbar somewhere?
I want them not to have a nuclear weapon. I want Iran to be a wonderful, great, happy country. But they can't have a nuclear weapon. And we're negotiating with them.
Oh, so
Saturday.
fucking... it's all
And,
monotone,
right
dude.
now we have a meeting with President Putin.
It's
as we
one a
speak.
year, dude.
There's a meeting going on right now. But with Iran, I want them to flourish, but they can't have a nuclear weapon.
There it is. You heard him. Can't have a nuclear weapon. Can't do it. America. Sorry. Yeah.
Dear, oh dear. What was it? The hunt? The blood? Or the horrible dream?
The hunt?
Oh,
the blood?
it doesn't matter. Tonight, Gammon joins the hunt.
It was fucked up.
Dear, oh dear. What was it?
Dear,
the hunt?
dear.
The
What
blood?
was
Or the horrible dream?
It was a horrible
Oh.
dream.
It doesn't matter.
God damn it.
Right. Yeah, Peter, I appreciate it. A bird just landed on my head!
Oh shit! Attack of the bald eagles!
Peter,
Woo!
I appreciate
Oh, wait, it's just a regular bird.
just landed on my head!
It's like, yo, let me use your head. I need a perch. Fucking Peter Ducey got attacked by a goddamn bird. The burb got him. A dope bomb. Deport the burb. Yeah, it was burb assault. It was assault pigeon. It needs to be taken down. Evil burb. Assault pigeon. Out of touch multimillionaire wants you paying more taxes on to own Trump? What? How is me paying more taxes going to own Trump? If anything, those taxes are just gonna be spent to like military efforts and like killing people. I'm sorry. God damn it. Louis Goldberg says people who are already struggling with everything should pay more in taxes to avoid depending on Trump. What do you mean? But okay, sure. I mean, we already spend a lot of money on taxes. But okay.
People, I think, are, have trauma from what we have endured these last 11 weeks. And this is not going away because he's putting a 90-day pause on it.
Well, a 90-day pause doesn't mean anything. to anyone because people are, as you say, struggling with everything they're living with on a day-to-day basis. Now you know what we're fighting against. But I also believe that it's very important to remind people that now is the time for each and every one of us to suck it up and make sure that we know what we need to take care of. If you're in an area where the school district is losing, then you got to pay a little more taxes and you got to help the schools out. If you're finding that your libraries are falling apart,
that's where they want the taxes to go. Oh, you gotta pay more taxes and help the schools out. Bitch, I ain't going to the fucking schools. What do you mean?
you have to give more. This is where we come in. We cannot depend on them. This
well, I mean,
is
partly
us.
part of it is going to the schools, but it's not all of it.
How about no?
Do it for the kids. Pay more taxes. Fuck you, Oprah. Or well, fuck, it was Whoopi, but fuck Oprah too. They're both the same ilk. They're both terrible people. Vivek Ramaswamy shuts down protesters with one fact. Unskippable. Vivek Ramaswamy had an argument with a protester about diversity. Oh boy. Here we go.
Woman had a question if she wanted to ask. I promise you, if you found your question, I promise you'll take care.
She hasn't said anything yet, but I can already tell she's angry.
The thing is that you're in Mason right now, and
yeah.
You're
I grew up not far from here.
Our diversity is our superpower here. Yes, it is. Right? It is our superpower.
Here, our diversity is our superpower here, right? It is our superpower. What the fuck are you talking about, lady? What?
Here. This is why we live here.
This is why we live here. Oh my god.
Because
actually,
we have, what, 100 languages spoken in our schools? Close to 100 languages. We have people from many different countries here, and some of my friends are scared. I'm out here because I have cover. I'm a blue-eyed old lady, so I have some cover.
You wait, what?
But my friends are scared.
Yeah, wait,
I
what?
have friends that
hold on. I'm so, hold on. Excuse me. There are countries here. Some of my friends are scared. I'm out here because I have cover. I'm a blue-eyed old lady.
I have some cover.
What the fuck? This lady's cracked out.
You what?
But my
This
friends are
lady's
scared.
cracked out,
I have
man.
friends,
She's a crack
my kids'
addict.
friends.
You should
Their,
never talk to
families
these
are
people.
scared because they're worried about they're going to get picked up on the streets.
Okay, so
And then get sent somewhere.
As someone
over
who's
to Butler County.
as someone who's not blue-eyed myself, okay, let me address my perspective on this.
Wait, what is being blue?
It's true.
I'm so confused. Where did the whole blue-eyed come from? What the fuck just happened? I am confused. Did I miss something?
I'd frame
here?
it a little bit differently. I think our strength is not our diversity. Our strength is what unites us across our diversity, all right? And part of what I want to bring back are the ideals that unite. No, it's actually not. Well, I'll tell you why it's not.
I understand.
I'll tell you how I translate. I'll tell you how I translate it. I'll translate it to action. We'll translate it to action. I think every high school senior who graduates from an Ohio high school should have to pass the same civics test that every legal immigrant has to pass before they
what
become
was she doing?
a voting citizen of the
What was
country.
she doing? Wait, what? I am so confused. What was she doing with her hands? Oh, is she pointing to her shirt? Oh, okay. I was all like, what the fuck? I don't know what her
Citizen of the
shirt
country.
is.
That's what I like people to know about our country, to be proud of it. That's our true strength. That's what I care about.
I know. The lady is fucking cracked out. I don't know. I wonder who she's talking to. Whoopi Goldberg destroys her career. Oh, yeah. We just listened to this.
Doesn't mean anything to anyone because people are, as you say, struggling with everything they're living with on a day-to-day basis. Now you know what we're fighting against.
Really?
But I also believe that it's very important to remind people that now is the time for each and every one of us to get up and make sure that we know what we need to take care of.
Where is
School
it?
district is in
Oh, yeah, here.
If you're in an area where the school district is losing, then you got to pay a little more tax.
She's like, oh, you gotta pay more into the school system, even though the school system's indoctrinating your kids, possibly. It's like, what the fuck, lady? Get the fuck out of here. You know some shit in the schools are getting fucked up right now. Like, if you're not, like, actively, like, investigate, or, well, I wouldn't say investigate, but if you're not, like, actively interviewing these people at these public schools to make sure your fucking kids are not gonna get fucked up or some shit like that, right? That's on you. You should be doing that. Oh my god. This is so wild. I don't know. Get the fuck out of here. Pay more taxes to school. Get the fuck out of here. Oh. Whoopsies. Apparently I had that stream pumped. Chuck Schumer will have a meltdown if he sees this 2011 video about tariffs. God. Uh-oh, it broke. Oh, there we go. Somebody show this video from 2011 to Chuck Schumer right now. I want to see his reaction.
What will things be like 10 and 20 years from now?
No.
Will America stay the leading economic power of the world? Will our children have a better life than we do?
What do you want?
There are many. The number one thing we have to do is change things at home to make that better. There is no question about it.
Really?
But very high up on the list
Sin
as
Lao.
well is making sure that China no longer unfairly.
What do you want?
Millions of jobs and hundreds of billions of dollars of American wealth.
I don't even know what the fuck I said the last one.
To its shores. What China does will make our job of keeping America strong, of having the next generation live a better life than this generation, far more difficult.
I don't know. The way it's going right now, it doesn't seem like it. You said that back then, but I don't know.
Unless we force them
10 years
to
later,
change, because they won't change on their own.
14 years later.
To stand up for American manufacturing.
Oh, wow. Stand up for American manufacturing. Wow. That was 2011.
For American jobs. For American wealth.
Oh, no.
To stand up.
Oh, no, really? What happened now? What changed, buddy? Was it the cash flow?
So that our
was
children
it the cash flow into your
can
own
have a brighter
pockets?
future
And to your
than
own
we
colleagues'
have.
pockets? Huh? No! You corrupt fuckheads. I hope you all burn, by the way. Hell is gonna be a beautiful place for all these people. The stupidity never ends. Remember, through DC
military
after.
tanks on our streets would not be good. If military tanks were used, they should be accompanied with many millions of dollars to repair the roads.
All these federal jobs lost, the economy is in the toilet, people's 401ks being slashed. Nothing to celebrate right now, my guy.
$92 million.
Jesus Christ. Isn't that wasteful spending? Where's Doge at when you need him? Doge can, well, I guess he does have presidential immunity, so did Doge can intervene in a situation like this? That seemed like wasteful spending to me.
Yeah.
We are so past wasteful spending, it's not even funny. Now, the question is, will his base be on board with him throwing an extravagant party right now? He did promise to lower the price of groceries. I have not.
Still talking about lowering the price of groceries. He did lower the price of gases a little bit, but then, right, the tariffs hit a little bit, so the prices went up a little bit, so it's whatever. I mean, I wish we can go back to the old days when gas was like fucking, what was it in 2001 in California? $1.65? Now it's like fucking quadrupled. God damn, it's fucked. It's tripled, man. It's like 3.5x. Fuck that, dude. Gas is
For 1
fucked.
cent, since this man got in, I almost, we're too close. Something almost slipped out my face.
Yeah, that's just my part of California. In other parts of California, it might be worse.
For 1 cent.
How about this?
All right, welcome back, everybody. 15 minutes to the top of the hour, and some good news for your next trip to the grocery store. Those egg prices, the high prices finally cracking. The USDA says the average cost for a dozen eggs has dropped to $4.15. That's nearly half of what a carton was costing you just about a month ago. The department is citing a combination of factors for the cut, namely more supply, less demand, and they say the spread of bird flu is also slowing down.
No, don't tell her. She won't listen. It doesn't matter. Oh.
My God. I'm just messing with you.
Dead.
Gosh, great.
What is this? Oh, this was when he fucking nuked the plane. Yeah, I don't know why they're all standing around. It's just so stupid. Literally can fucking
Hey,
see
ladies
them.
and gentlemen, this.
What is this?
This is Carmine Sabia for Explain America, and there was an accident with an airplane again. This time at Reagan International Airport,
Oh,
and
this
it had
one, okay.
Congress members on board. Before we get
This
started,
is the
guys,
one
if
where
you're not
though
already there, please
they
visit
clip the wing or something
youtube.com/@explainamerica,
when it touched down.
where you can like, comment, share, and subscribe. 2 American Airlines planes collided. Well, they clipped wings.
Yeah, this is the
in a
one.
DC
Yeah.
International Airport. Now, everybody on board is okay. I want to say that right off the bat. But there were Congress members on board. And they're posting about it online. But the bigger issue to me is not who was on board, or because every human being, every life is important. But here's what scares me. I know there's plane incidents every year.
Yes,
but
correct.
what's going on? Like,
Yeah.
Really, what is going on here?
This
is happening all too frequently. And
I think it's just because people are just filming it more, right?
2 planes for their wings to clip together. Where was air traffic control? How does that happen? It could have been a few feet one way or the other, devastating. We could have a mass catastrophe on our hands for
It's
just a
the
matter of a few
illusion
feet.
bias.
And I want to know what's going on. Why does this continue to happen?
I mean,
And
you
just
see
last
one,
night,
and then you start
a
noticing
sightseeing
another.
helicopter in New
Yep.
York City fell into the Hudson.
Happens. It's the
All
same with
people on
when you
board, a
hear
family of
certain
5
words.
from Spain, and the pilot perished. Horrible. And again, if you look historically, these things continue to happen every year. It's still the safest form of travel. I won't do it. I won't do it, and I'll tell you why. When I was a kid, there was a year like the one you're witnessing now, where it just seemed like there was an air catastrophe every day on TV. I don't remember what age I was, but I was young. And I decided in that very moment, and it never left me, that I'm never getting on an airplane. At least not while I'm alive, you know. So I'm not doing it. I won't do it. I'm terrified of them. And I know that it doesn't make sense because the numbers show that it is the safest form of travel. And I don't want you to be concerned about it. But, I mean, how are you not concerned about this? This is a common, recurring theme. So I ask again, what the heck is going on? I want you guys to give me your opinions on what you think is going on here, because I don't get it. And you would think a flight with Congress members, they'd be really careful. I don't know what else to say. I want you to watch this report on it and let me know what you think in the comments.
I mean, it's hard
All right,
to tell.
Aisha, we've got this update now on a Fox News alert. This just in from Reagan National Airport in Washington, D.C.
Some of the time it's just pilot
We
error.
just started getting word that 2 American Airlines planes clipped wings at that
Some
airport.
of the times
this is according
it's
to a statement now confirmed with the
malfunctions.
FAA. This happened around 12:45 p.m. Eastern time, so just a couple of hours ago. We're told one plane was headed to Charleston, South Carolina. The other was headed right here to New York City, to JFK. One was taxiing, one was parked. The Metropolitan Washington Airport Authority says there is no effect on flight operations at that airport. Both aircraft have since returned to their gates, and no injuries have been reported. The FAA is investigating at this time, and they will give us more details on this incident as we get it. That's a live look at Reagan Airport. A couple members of Congress say that they were on board that flight. Congressman Nick LaLota of New York posted, serving in Congress has come with some once-in-a-lifetime experiences like just now. While stationary in the runway at DCA, another plane just bumped into our wing, headed back to the gate, but thankfully everyone is okay. All right.
There we have it. Self-defense and fatal stabbing. Was Megyn Kelly on it? Oh, yeah. It's okay. I don't really care that much. I already gave my opinion on it.
The American government seems to be...
U.S. officials challenge Ofcom over free...
coming after Britain's speech laws, which I think is great. But anyway, US officials challenge Ofcom over online safety laws' impact on free speech. The State Department is said to have raised concerns over whether the new act diminishes freedom of expression. It, in fact, does. US State Department officials have challenged Britain's communications regulator over the impact on freedom of expression created by new online safety laws, The Guardian understands. A group of officials from the State Department's Bureau of Democracy, Human Rights and Labour recently met Ofcom in London. It is understood that they raised the issue of the new Online Safety Act and how it risked infringing free speech. The State Department body later said the meeting was part of its initiative to affirm the US commitment to defending freedom of expression, both in Europe and around the world. And Lord knows Europe needs it really, really badly right now. During the meeting, Ofcom officials said the new rules were only in place to deal with explicitly illegal content as well as material that could be harmful to children. That is a complete lie. Asked about the meeting, which is understood to have taken place in March, a State Department spokesperson said, as Vice President Vance has said, we are concerned about freedom of expression in the United Kingdom. It is important that the UK respect and protect freedom of expression. After all, a government's basic function should be to protect your basic human rights. That's what it should be, except ours violates them all the fucking time by expropriating our property and taking our rights away, like our right to freedom of speech, right to freedom of association, freedom of belief in many bloody cases. Starting to get very tiresome. Details of the meeting emerged after Jonathan Reynolds, the business secretary, denied that concerns over free speech had featured in tariff negotiations with the US. There had been reports that a deal could be jeopardised over the case of anti-abortion campaigner Livia Tositi-Bolt, who was prosecuted for an alleged breach of a safe access zone outside a Bournemouth abortion clinic. The verdict is expected on Friday. So basically, praying outside abortion clinics is illegal, even though it's public streets that people pay for. If it's private property, then that's a completely different thing. But no, if it's a public street and I pay for it with my taxis, I'm allowed to fucking be there. Right? I don't care. I don't give a fuck. Arrest me. I mean, they will. It's an authoritarian government. Of course they're going to. What are you going to do? Arrest me? Yeah, that's what they do. It follows months of pressure from figures close to President Trump over free speech. Some have accused the UK government of failing to protect freedom of expression, especially after the riots that took place last summer. Yeah, we don't have freedom of speech in Britain. I see so many times I get tagged in conversations where you get some little idiot that gets all their news from like newspapers and stuff like that, and they don't actually delve any deeper than that, where they go, why are Americans always saying that Britain doesn't have freedom of speech? And then I get tagged in it, and then they post shit tons of examples of people having their free speech violated, like the women silently praying, Christian preachers in the street, people making jokes and everything like that, and then they go, well, that's actually justified, and blah, blah, blah. Okay, you've answered your question. You are why Britain doesn't have freedom of speech, because there's little fucking useless idiot enablers like you that won't do anything about it, and whenever the government is blatantly violating human rights, you instead justify it. You little fucking bootlicker. Sorry. Passionate about this subject, could you tell? In February, the US Vice President, J.D. Vance, complained of infringements on free speech in the UK. Elon Musk, one of Trump's closest allies, repeatedly claimed that some prison sentences handed down to people who incited the riots on X were a breach of free speech. They, in fact, were. People were getting arrested just for being at the riot. They didn't do anything. They were just there. And people were getting arrested for it. X hosts accounts by figures including Tommy Robinson and Andrew Tate, who were accused of inciting people to join Islamophobic protests. Since the riots last summer, the Online Safety Act has been implemented as a way of regulating illegal online content. During a visit to the UK, the US State Department team held meetings with Ofcom, the Foreign Office, and the Alliance Defending Freedom, a US group that funds and campaigns on conservative issues. Among the group was Samuel D. Sampson, who previously worked for US conservative organizations. He was appointed as a senior advisor at the DRL in January after Trump's victory. On the day of last year's US election, he tweeted, "Today we choose God over pagan idols." Oh, I feel terrible. He has previously taken a close interest in freedom of speech issues, writing about the topic in the American's Conservative magazine. The DRL's interest in Britain marks a pivot by an agency originally set up in the 1970s to advance democracy around the world against the backdrop of the Cold War. Who started this again? Don't worry about it. Rather than Britain's domestic affairs, the DRL's advocacy has focused on the Middle East, Russia and China. An Ofcom spokesperson said this meeting was part of Ofcom's regular engagement with a range of international stakeholders seeking a factual briefing on how the Online Safety Act works in practice to protect UK citizens. The Online Safety Act applies to all sites and apps that publish user-made content as well as large search engines. It lists 100...
So they're trying to get everyone to the UK to redo their like terms and service and shit, I guess.
30 priority offences, which includes issues such as child sexual abuse, terrorism and fraud. Mark Jones, a partner of the law firm Payne Hicks Beach, said Ofcom was not clamping down on free speech. He said that in practice, it delegated to the platforms about how they monitor content beyond illegal material. Except there are things that aren't illegal, well, they've been made illegal now. It's a case of things, the way that, the clever way that they do it with the law is there are certain things that aren't illegal, but the crime is the company not acting fast enough to remove said thing. So you've not made the thing getting removed illegal, you've made the company not acting fast enough illegal. You see the clever little thing that they've done there. So basically they've managed to outlaw speech by not directly outlawing the speech, but by outlawing the response time of your reaction to those certain things. Correct. It's fucking clever. It's very, I'll give them that. Usually the government are idiots, but I'll give them that. It's very bloody clever.
So based on your response time, they're saying, hey, you're not doing it fast enough.
Hyper-masculine content. Hyper-masculine content. What? So hold on, if you see me bench press 150... I mean, I couldn't bench press 150. I mean, I do 60 for reps. Not now, because I feel fucking terrible. But, yeah. So, hyper-masculine, I think that's pretty masculine. If someone's bench pressing 150 kilos... If someone's bench pressing 150, that's pretty hyper-masculine. Is that illegal?
Is that illegal?
Ofcom wrote to social media platforms to urge them to go above and beyond their legal obligations under the Online Safety Act, even though the content itself
you're pumping iron
illegal.
And you're posting it on
fucking
the interwebs.
Oh, that's illegal. A culture of F in doubt, cut it out, as platforms seek to avoid being subject to Ofcom's enforcement power. So it's the exact same thing as Article 13 that was happening in the EU, where I had to go to Strasbourg's fucking EU court and tell them all to their face that they're all dumb boomers that have no concept of how the internet even fucking works. But basically it would bring in the Great Firewall of China, where there would be a system, most likely AI, that would basically monitor everything that's about to go online. And if the AI isn't sure, then that thing will not be allowed to go online.
Basically.
The great filter. The great internet filter.
Yeah,
and it's going to most
basically
likely
the
be
Great Wall
controlled
of
by...
China. Right. It'd be a AI that would filter people's speech as soon as they fucking press that enter button. And that's pretty fucking obtrusive, right? Pretty illegal, to be honest.
AI, does everybody see where this is going? On the other side, we have Musk
That would
and Meta
get
chief
rid of
Mark
all
Zuckerberg,
privacy, by the
who's
way.
totally on our side now, guys, who have spoken out about the
Online-wise.
online safety laws in the UK and
An AI that would just
institutionalizing
track
censorship.
immediately.
Duties in relation to
That's it.
misogynistic
Once-
content, for
once you press
example, are
enter.
voluntary, unlike the requirements to tackle illegal content and child safety. CP being banned, yeah. yeah, okay. Completely fine. The other stuff...
So basically, any information you look up, you're being tracked immediately by the AI overlords.
No, but companies can still fall afoul of the law and they can still face very severe fines from Ofcom. Basically, a large, powerful institution is using its state power to come after companies to force them
Correct.
to remove certain information. That is a violation of freedom of speech. I don't care what Ofcom
Correct.
say. They know fully what they're doing. They are pissing on our leg and telling us that it's raining.
And yeah, they're trying to break the rules. They're trying to use some fucking third-party fucking, like, government, like some third-party business or operation to fuck with the government. It's fucking weird. I don't know what they're doing. Fucking brain dead. Their account Dankula.
The Elon Musk cyberbullying situation is insane. It's truly gotten to the point that the guy is so keen to demonstrate how much of an epic gamer he
Yeah. Yeah, I saw this shit. Yeah, they kept spamming Elon. I guess Elon didn't know to put D&D mode on. But yeah, he just let it happen.
is that he started streaming in hardcore mode on Path of Exile 2, despite previously paying people to do it for him. Of course, this is actually an extremely difficult task, one that requires hundreds of hours of dedication, so it wouldn't be surprising if he just said he liked playing Path of Exile casually and wanted to try something new. After all, he's a busy man, and many of his activities have invited derision via memes over the past couple of years. From buying Twitter and averaging well over 50 tweets a day, to having children with many women and actively ignoring them, to of course running Doge within the government. No one would blame him if he just said he didn't have a lot of time to be good. Unfortunately, it seems he's super keen to prove that he's got the epic gamer skills, despite no one really asking him to do so. So when he streamed from his private jet, it would appear many who joined the chat were extremely unhappy about it. He got absolutely roasted, especially due to his inability to kill the tutorial boss. I mean, the fact that he decided to put himself out there publicly whilst, at the time, the US government was still going full force ahead with implementing tariffs on every country, and the stock market was absolutely crashing, it's not surprising that he became less popular and faced strong opposition. Eventually, he stopped and said his Starlink satellite internet wasn't quite holding up, with recordings of the stream being passed around the internet like hotcakes. What I don't understand
Yeah, I mean, he was trying to play on Starlink, and he was on his private jet. So, he must have been having, like, some lag issues, but also, yeah, he's not he's not that great of a gamer.
Is why he didn't think to hire some moderators or do some basic setup beforehand to prevent, or at least soften, the roasting. Surely the richest man in the world could predict that the public opinion of him as a gamer isn't perhaps 100% right now. Elon has been discussed at length many times on this channel for the memes he inspires, and it would appear this one is simply yet another moment the guy has become more noteworthy for all the wrong reasons. In short, Elon Musk has been cyberbullied whilst playing a game he claims to be a pro at, once again shooting into the headlines for doing something completely unrelated to his job, which at the moment seems to be trying to provoke as much frustration and outrage as possible. What meme would you guys like me to give a lesson in next? Let me know in the comments below.
And remember,
Yeah, I mean, well,
like and subscribe.
Elon is the richest man on the world, and the most successful. Has a bunch of businesses.
Or else.
I mean, has a bunch of kids. He's a tycoon. I don't know what to say. I am become bullied. Rappers have ghostwriters. Elon has ghost gamers. Alright, there we go. Elon Musk getting bullied on the internet. As usual. Hasn't stopped ever since he got fucking his hands on Twitter. And then it just ramped up ever since he started running on Trump's side. Okay. On to the next.
The mystery is...
What is this? The mystery is answered. Okay, Mr. Joseph. This is his other channel. Modernity. What mystery are we looking at, sir?
As to why Lily Phillips ended up the way she did has finally been answered. Kuma brain damage.
I probably watched pornography first when I was maybe 11.
Jesus. Talk about the loss of innocence.
And so I've always known about it. I've always knew it was a thing.
Holy shit. I don't even think I started at that age. What the fuck?
And I always thought it was very normal to watch.
What responsible parent, her parents are on the payroll by the way, wouldn't be watching like a hawk
Jesus
what's
Christ.
being consumed by an 11-year-old girl on a smartphone or a computer?
And you say it's normal. Can you describe how it has influenced you and your brain and your outlook on sex?
You know what? It actually made me really sex confident and learn a lot of things.
What?
I'm sorry,
Taking
but
a lot
sex
of
confident is
dick
just
in
a
the
euphemism
asshole
for
and
being a hoe.
JJ?
I mean, that's mostly how I learned through pornography.
And then in the mouth as well, probably?
I do think
here.
it has a positive effect on me.
STD positive? In what fucked up world is exposing kids to hardcore sexuality positive?
And when you look back and reflect on the fact that you had access to this pornography and were looking at it from the age of 11, and not just you, any Gen Z who's got a smartphone.
Yeah.
Does that suggest to you that maybe your generation has been
This
let
is
down
insane
by
how they try to
politicians or
rationalize some of this
the
shit.
tech companies
Fucking
or
insane.
even parents?
I mean, this is the BBC, by the way, which relentlessly pushes
Oh
drag
god,
queens
oh
on
yeah,
children.
the BBC.
So when it
yeah,
comes
Jesus
to warning
Christ.
of the
Yeah,
dangers of
they just
sexualizing kids,
they're
they haven't got a leg
enablers.
to stand on.
Is there a
BBC are a
direct
bunch of
link
fucking
between
weirdos.
you watching pornography as you grew up and the decisions you've made to do what you do now?
I think maybe.
Maybe, just maybe. But despite what she's involved in being incredibly damaging to both young women and men, I don't want to be too mean to her because she might be a real victim. Studies show
she
that
might be a
traumatic
real-
experiences may play a significant role in internet pornography.
I don't know, man. When they
Another
actively
study
sell
found
their
that
body,
92% of women who
and
featured
then they
in
go
video
on these
porn, more than
interviews
9
and
in
have a
10
fucking
had
crash
experienced
out
either
sometimes. It's like,
sexual
I
violence
don't-
and or a
it's hard to
traumatic
say.
life event before featuring
Hard
in
to
porn
fucking
production.
sympathize
And nearly
with you,
8 in 10
honestly.
have been victims of sexual violence. Some have speculated Phillips is potentially a victim of CSA, noting that a common reaction to CSA is hypersexuality, having a plethora of sexual partners which Phillips admits to before she was even famous, before she learned to cash in on her infamous challenges, which have become the most extreme example of explicitly public hypersexuality in human history. But I mean, you
should
could
ask
argue
her
that
friend,
allowing minors
what was
to be
it, Bonnie
exposed
Blue
to
or whatever
porn
her fucking
is
name is?
itself a form of CSA. Given that porn is so powerful as a tool of mind control,
Wasn't
to the
that the
extent
other
that
one
it's
that was
been
like
used as
over
a form of
1,000 bodies?
psychological warfare,
And then
the
she's now
answer to what
pregnant,
created
apparently.
Lily
She's
Phillips
like,
is
what?
staring us in the face.
Okay. Fucking weird.
If you value what I do and you want to help support me, please visit pauljosephwatson.locals.com and
Is
either
that the
pledge a
BBC is
one-time
interviewing
donation
her,
or
almost
subscribe
like
to
they're
join
trying to
my
normalize
community,
it to
get
their
early
viewers.
access videos, and message me directly. An exclusive live
I
stream.
mean, look, some of these, I hate to say it, but politicians tried to normalize some
take a look
fucked
at the
up
brand
things.
new
Right.
website, Modernity.
I mean, that's just what they do.
That's where you'll
Just
find
look at what the
all my
Democrats are
content,
trying to
including
normalize.
exclusive
They're trying to
articles.
normalize
That's
illegal activity.
modernity.news.
Jesus Christ. You guys are fucking cooked. They basically want to legalize criminal activities. Like, holy fuck, man, you are cooked. Get the fuck out of here. You can get deported together, shit. The fuck out. Tania Fernandez Anderson caught red-handed by reporter over a resignment. Unskippable.
Can you share when you plan to resign?
He hasn't even said it yet, but these emotions are already given it. Well, what else could you expect from her?
I can tell you this. I have to think about it thoroughly with my advisory council.
Although, go ahead and couple more times. We want to laugh. Wait, has she done this?
Decision certainly has to include them. And as soon as I know, I will definitely discuss.
What the do I have to do in this council?
Oh, she had a freak out? Is a Cape Verdean born American politician and nonprofit executive who was a member of the Boston City Council for the 7th District. Oh, yeah, she had a crash out, huh? Boston, eh? Man, Boston's fucking cooked. I'm sorry. What a shit show. Yeah, I hate to say it, but any of the Democrat states are just fucking ass. No ifs, ands, or buts. They're just ass. They got a lot of fucking ass and garbage that you need to fucking clean out. Literally need to take out the garbage in these places.
In order to get respect as a woman.
Democrats have a massive House problem. Oh, this is Red Eagle politics. Who's this? Governor Leary shuts down Don Lemon with one fact. Don Lemon.
I'm helping you with your Trump syndrome. Let me interpret.
I don't have Trump syndrome. Trust me.
Wait, what?
I'm not. Again, listen. I'm not a Democrat, so don't even try it. I don't have Trump derangement, but I am.
I'm not on that Trump derangement syndrome. Look.
I have eyes and ears.
He's celebrating entrepreneurship. These are individuals that obviously had positions in the indexes in the markets, as I do. I've been watching my net worth vary by 20%, some days 5% in an hour, up and down. And I understand why that's happening. I've also learned in my life, you can't time the market.
Let it burn.
Yeah. If you missed that upside yesterday, you basically left, 4.5% on the table. You're not going to get back, maybe. So it's really a crazy time, and I agree with that. But trying to tie insider trading to market volatility, Don, I love you, honey, sweetie, poopsie, but it ain't going to happen. No. None of this stuff has any teeth, any traction. And I don't even think it'll get investigated because it's so obvious what happens here.
Kevin, sweetie, dearie, I'm just asking the questions. I mean, look, when you get major news
I'm answering you. No, it
Yeah,
doesn't.
like the people who are trying to get Trump on like market manipulation shit. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Especially when you had all these other Democrats trying to do it. Yeah, that's not gonna fucking happen.
Bother me, and I don't think there's anything important here. That's what I think.
All right, Pumpkin. All right, so let's.
All Trump did was talk about tariffs, and fucking everybody shit a brick. Get the fuck out of here. You guys are such fucking retards. You know what? I hope all of you shit more bricks. Maybe then that'll fucking put that fucking gun in your mouth and pull the trigger, huh? Fucking retards. So sick and tired of people. Reporter just exposed Ilhan Omar over her lies right on the street. Yeah, good. That bitch needs to get a fucking bullet, too. Send her the fuck back to Somalia with her butt pirates.
Will you condemn the flag?
Yeah,
that
take
was
your
flown
brother,
outside
too,
the US
you fucking
Congress
weirdo.
Last Saturday during free protest.
I condemn the smug that's on your face.
So you don't want to condemn the flag?
Condemn your smug face.
All right, thank you.
I condemn the smug that's on your face. So you don't want to condemn the flag? Condemn your smug face.
I condemn the smugness of your face, says the same politician who fucks with people all the fucking time. And then you ask your Somali butt pirates to break the laws. The fuck out of here, you fucking dirty cunt. How is she even in our government? You can blame Minnesota for that. They got a bunch of drug addicts and a bunch of weirdos over there. Oh yeah, you got a fucked up state that has a bunch of drug addicts. What can you do? Same with California. Got a fucked up state with a bunch of drug addicts. And fucking rampant gang violence too. Three dead, one hurt after plane crash in Florida. Another, Boca Raton, Florida.
We're talking home improvement projects. Yeah, so home renovation experts Catalina and Alex Stovall, who live here locally in Jupiter, Florida, join us now to talk about
Another
smart
crash.
storage in your home, but on a budget.
Did this person get out?
Welcome to our home. Let's do some DIY projects. Come on in.
Let's go.
Yeah, this is why you should be careful when operating heavy machinery. Another
The
view.
tragic final moments of a doomed
Oh,
Cessna plane
Jesus,
captured on
fuck.
video in Boca Raton, Florida.
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh shit, and it exploded. That was all the fuel in the fucking plane, dude.
Plumes of smoke and plane parts scattered across
Yeah.
streets and train tracks.
Fucking bursted on
A car
impact.
engulfed in flames.
Oh shit, there was a car that got hit too. Oh, no wonder. There was cars and shit there too. So there's more gas. Oh, isn't that nice?
in the
More
hazy
explosions.
aftermath of a plane crash.
It was just a big explosion. Smoke.
Yeah.
Flight school student Jared Scarpato witnessed the plane's final moments.
Were you
Jesus
afraid
fuck.
that there was going to be a crash imminent? watching him?
100%. 100%. I said out loud, he's too low. And what's going through my mind is, once he goes out of sight, that's just really it. It's devastating.
According to the FAA,
Yeah,
the
you
small
could tell.
twin-engine
Yeah,
Cessna
you could
310
tell
took off
something
at
was up.
10:12 from Boca Raton,
Because he wasn't
headed for
getting
Tallahassee,
any
crashing
lift
less
or
than
anything.
10 minutes later, killing all 3 on board. The flight path shows the Cessna appearing to make repeated circles. A source with knowledge of the situation says the pilot reported an issue with the rudder.
How could that lead
Rudder issues,
to what we saw
malfunction.
If the rudder were displaced to the left and the pilot was not able to bring it back to neutral, it's going to want to make the nose of the airplane continually go left.
Pablo Tifor tells our affiliate WTVJ how he narrowly avoided falling plane debris from his car below.
Next thing I know, it's on top, right in front of me, and exploded, impacted right in front of my car, and we crashed and tried to steer out of the way, but it was pretty much unavoidable.
The NTSB now on the scene investigating what went wrong. While tonight he's hurt but grateful to be alive.
Got out of the car that was on fire, through the flames, and made it to safety.
And Marissa, we heard from the NTSB just moments ago. What more are we learning about this accident?
Well, this type of plane is not required to have a so-called black box, so investigators are parsing through to find any type of electronics that can give them any clues into what happened. That preliminary report will be out in the next 30 days, but in the meantime, this
basically
impacts a
the
busy
flight
section
recorder.
of road and railroad
Usually
tracks
some
behind me.
planes
This
have a
section
flight
in Boca
recorder. I
Raton
guess
will
this
remain
one
closed
didn't
through
have
the
a
night
flight
as they
recorder.
continue to
I don't know why.
investigate. Lester?
Thanks for
I
watching.
guess 'cause it
Stay
was a
updated
small
about breaking
passenger
news
plane.
and
I
top
don't know.
stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.
Do I already have NBC News here? Yeah. We can just put the fiery plane crash.
The head of
What do we got? Pentagon removes Greenland base commander Susanna Meyers after Vance visit. Uh-oh, what happened?
The head of the U.S. military base in Greenland, Colonel Susanna Myers, was fired after distancing herself from the Trump administration. The U.S.
That's
military's
why.
Space Operations Command cited a, quote, loss in confidence in her ability to lead. The news comes after Myers
apparently
separated herself from Vice President J.D. Vance's March visit to Greenland in an email to base personnel.
Our message to Denmark is very simple. You have not done a good job by the people of Greenland. You have underinvested in the people of Greenland, and you have underinvested in the security architecture of this incredible, beautiful landmass filled with incredible people.
Vance also accused Denmark of, quote, underinvesting in its semi-autonomous territory and leaving it vulnerable to foreign actors. Myers wrote in the email, quote, I do not presume to understand the current politics, but what I do know is the concerns of the U.S. administration discussed by Vice President Vance on Friday are not reflective of Pitifix Space Base. The email dampened the Trump administration's goal of deepening ties or even acquiring Greenland. Defense Department spokesman Sean Parnell said in a statement, quote, actions to undermine the chain of command or to subvert President Trump's agenda will not be tolerated at the Department of Defense. Space Force Colonel Sean Lee has replaced Myers.
Oh, she got replaced. Didn't want to comply with what Trump wanted to do? You're out. Get the fuck out. Peace. Who are you?
Lawmakers want to know, is it time to stop messing with the clock? Members of Congress examined and questioned the various issues surrounding the twice-a-year ritual
they're trying to get
of
rid of daylight
time
savings.
changes.
Washington correspondent Basil John reports on whether Congress is willing to fall back or spring forward permanently.
Time ticks away, and for many years, lawmakers have criticized changing the clock.
It's funny how they care about this fucking bullshit when there's like other
Texas
things to
Republican
care
Senator
about.
Ted Cruz hosted a
Right, there are
hearing
more
Thursday
pressing
about
matters
ending the
to
time
fucking
changes.
care about, yet they
Stop the
care
Clock
about this
movement
one
founder
issue.
Scott
Fuck
Yates
out of here.
Testified.
Maybe fix the gun issues. Why don't you stop fucking with guns, huh? Get rid of the gun control bullshit already. Fucking asshats. Fuck all you.
Changing the clocks negatively impacts
stupid,
everyday
wasting your
living.
It's
fucking
something that we've
time
been
on
stuck
this
with since
bullshit.
World War I, and this is our opportunity to finally fix it.
I'm brain
Lawmakers
dead,
agreed
too.
the U.S. should lock the clock,
Ay,
but
ay, ay.
should they fall back?
I
or
don't know where
should
the
they
fuck
spring
priorities are anymore. Like, what's the point of the government now with their priorities all fucked up like that? Like, what the fuck? Get the fuck out of here. I don't want to hear about this bullshit. Fix the goddamn government. Like, what do you do? I am so sick of this shit. Oh my god. I literally want to fucking flay people. Jesus.
New Mexico Democratic Senator Ben Ray Lujan says the
Fuck
American
you.
Academy
Sorry,
of Neurology is advocating for standard time to align with the human body's natural clock.
More people will actually naturally, because their circadian rhythms start saying get up on time rather than get up so late, will be able to be ready for the day.
Business owners pushed for permanent daylight saving, which could be a boon for their bottom line.
As business owners, they'll be able
Yeah, yeah, you do. Yeah, you forgot. Yeah, changing this, ending daylight savings and everything, that you will be messing with shipment and everything now, because you're changing the timetables. So now you would be effectively changing all these schedules of businesses and stuff around the world and whatnot, especially in the United States if you do this.
to pay the bills a little bit better and reinvest in their businesses if they had a little bit of a boost more in the afternoons and evenings.
But Indiana Senator Todd Young is concerned a one-size-fits-all policy may not work for all states.
States along this line of argument.
Yeah, yeah, that too. I hate to say it, but the states are, a lot of states are fucking, with all the states we have, they're just too independent, right? They also, they barely follow federal law, so it's like, ay. And then don't get me started on the individual, like, fucking Democrat-controlled states where they're just overrun with crime and them just sweeping shit under the rug. Like, fuck that, dude.
Better position to evaluate
noise.
how changes in daylight hours affect school schedules, commuting patterns, public safety, and economic activity.
President Donald Trump vowed a few months ago to remove daylight saving time, but most recently said it was a 50-50 issue. Reporting in Washington, I'm Basil John.
I think it's fucking useless. I mean, there are better ways to fucking spend your time than this fucking dumb bill. Come on, people. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Why are we like this? I hate to say it, but this is only the first world fucking issues. You don't see this shit happening in any of the fucking third world. Or second world. Ugh. They got fucking other problems to fucking deal with. Dumb fucking lawfare bullshit.
New at midday, Democratic senators are now calling for an investigation into possible insider trading linked to President Donald Trump's tariff reversal. They want to know if anyone in the
I mean, given what he did to you can't say insider trading because he made those the fucking the crypto the meme coin. I don't even know if I should say call them meme coins. But ever since he made those, yeah, you can't say market manipulate. You fumbled on those.
President's circle knew he was going to pause tariffs and made stock market trades because of it. Just hours before the announcement Wednesday, Trump posted on social media, "This is a great time to buy," a message ending with DJT, which are his initials, but also the stock ticker for his media company. Senators are demanding an investigation into potential conflicts of interest.
Campers trying to get into the Coachella Festival grounds are
Coachella
calling the
got
process a
fucked?
nightmare.
Yeah, some campers say they've been in line for more than 8 hours.
Ooh.
They say without access to water or restrooms. They say in the past it had only taken up to 2 hours to get in.
Well, I mean, given how big Coachella is nowadays, I mean...
Social media has quickly become flooded with the plight of the campers. One user posting, "This is beyond unacceptable. You charge thousands and can't manage basic logistics. What a joke." Another saying Coachella camping entry line is unconscionable, to be honest. Firefest 2. Authorities
Yeah, I
in
mean, that's
Coachella
what
Valley
happens
say
when you
they
go
have
to an
dispatched
event,
all
an
agencies
event
to help
that's
with
like,
the
what, a
influx of
week long
traffic,
or something like
not
that?
just around the grounds, but throughout the region. I wonder what has changed and why it
Yeah.
went from 2
Yeah.
to
It is.
8 hours.
I mean, look, you're going to have to wait. You're going to a festival.
Yeah.
But 8 hours is...
8 hours, man. You can run out of
something wrong
gas, or
there.
if you got, what about people with electric vehicles or whatever, you could be in a whole
And
lot
as
of
I
trouble.
said, I mean, you're waiting. You kind of got to go to the bathroom. Where do you go? I mean,
yeah, 8 hours. 2, like you say.
Gotta
2,
go
3
number
hours,
1 and
it's a
number 2.
festival, but
Looks like
what
you
has
gotta go
changed,
in the
I wonder.
woods. Alright, here we go. On to the next. What we got here? Surprised to watch them drive themselves to a bottom? Yeah, it is.
As I've thought about it over the last couple months, I probably would have voted differently.
I don't
Wait,
know
wait,
that.
wait, wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't know that. I probably would have voted differently.
Oh, really?
Oh my God. It's a vote that I regret, but coming into this Congress, I trusted that this administration, we would have some, if they wanted to
So this lady's talking about the Lake and Riley Act.
have border security, they wanted to work with Democrats that we could actually move forward. I'm not really sure of that.
Cuckoo.
Got him.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Carmine Sabia for Explain America, and the Supreme
Yeah, he
Court
won
just
again.
issued a blockbuster decision.
Get fucked, judges.
And President Donald Trump, he's
Eat
smiling
a
from
dick.
ear to ear.
Eat
Before
the
we get started, if you're
hellfire
not
and
already on this
brimstone
page,
of hell,
please check us
bitches.
out at youtube.com/@explainamerica. Hit like, subscribe, comment on the videos. It really helps us out. Guys, the Supreme Court, in my opinion, has ruled now for the third time in favor of President Donald Trump. You're going to hear a lot of Democrats, a lot of media talking heads like on Morning Joe on MSNBC, acting like this was a victory for the people who are against Trump. But if you delve into it, you'll find that it is a massive victory for Trump himself. Why? Well, they said that that man that was mistakenly deported, who all indications are is we'll say he's an alleged MS-13 gang leader. Well, they're saying you have to facilitate bringing him back to the United States. Now, he's from El Salvador, and there are threats against his life, but, I mean, this is a guy who threatens people's lives too, presumably. So I don't want to send him there to get axed, but he can't stay here. Well, the Supreme Court decision says they
get
have
axed.
to effectuate
Get the fuck
his return to the
out.
best of their ability.
You lose.
Which means they may not bring him back at all.
Take
There's
the
a lot
L.
of loopholes
Get
in
pegged,
this Supreme Court
bitch.
decision. Also, it just says he can't go to El Salvador. You can bring him back here and send him to any of the other 193 countries that are working with us on this. So he's not staying here. And that is a massive victory for Trump, because what does he care where he goes? Look, you ain't got to go home, but you can't stay here. It's an age-old thing. And Morning Joe, they were crowing about it this morning. They loved that Trump lost until their own legal analyst came on the air and gave him a dose of reality. Trump won, and he says it plain as day. And boy, the Morning Joe crew did not take that news well. Let's put it that
Good.
way.
Fuck them.
I want you to watch this and let me know what you think in the comments.
I mean, you already had MSNBC get fucked, right? Because Trump already sued them once.
A win.
for the Trump administration.
They already got
and at
fucked,
least that's
and they
how
still
they're
keep
going
talking
to play
shit.
it. Here's what I mean. A real win for Garcia would have been an order that says, hey,
Dude, I'm gonna laugh
here
when
the Salvadorian president's going to be here
after
Monday.
Trump steps down,
Put
right
Garcia
after his
on
term.
the plane,
I'm gonna
seated
laugh
next
if
to
he
him in a
fucking
reclining
sues these
seat,
guys
and he better be
again.
here Monday with the president. That would
He
have been a
starts
clear
suing
win.
all the
reason I
fucking
say
news
this,
networks
the
that
administration
he
is going to call this a
fucked
win.
with him all
Is
the
there's
time.
a lot of space, a lot of loophole potential
Oh my God,
in
this is
this
gonna be
order.
beautiful if he does
Consider
that.
this. One of the lines that we put up there on the screen was that the court ordered him to be returned, or excuse me, to facilitate his return so his case could be handled as if it was properly handled. Remember, the 2019 order for Garcia by an immigration judge just really prevented his return to El Salvador.
Oh yeah, so I think with this one, they said that they were going to, the judges told them to bring them back. And then I guess something happened and they were just like, yeah, no, we win. Get
theory,
fucked.
any of the other 193 countries out there might be perfectly all right. And if his case was handled the way it should have been, that could still result in his removal. And then there's even bigger wiggle room for the administration in the language with one word: effectuate. Yes, the lower court's order remains in place. The administration has to effectuate his return, but the court has to clarify, what does it mean by effectuate? I guarantee you, and here I am saying it now, the administration is going to say that whatever the district court clarifies effectuate means,
because
the
they
administration is going to say, well, guess what? We say you don't have the power to order us to do that because you're essentially ordering us to engage in international relations.
Which you said we couldn't. Yeah.
An Article 3 court, another branch of the government, cannot order us to do. And we're going to be right back here where we were this last week as this goes back up through the courts. I will just say, Joe, you're exactly right. Taken together, the two Supreme Court cases over the last week or so do stand for the idea that people subject to removal are entitled to due process. But sometimes even due process can be relatively hollow, because as long as they give them that notice and as long as they give them that hearing, arguably these folks can still be removed. So yes, a win for
look, you said due process, right? These people are entitled to due process, but it's probably a different due process. I can't.
Process, but I promise you, hear me now, the administration will call this a win for themselves, or at least that's how they'll play their hand.
Like these guys, to begin with, these guys are not citizens. Some of these guys are on visas or they broke in, right? Undocumented, right? So it's like some of these guys are already not citizens and we're never going to be citizens. They were just living on fucking guest living circumstances, right? And then you had the green card holders who are working their way towards citizenship in a sense, hopefully.
Well, I mean, Claire McCaskill, I don't think anybody is
there's
arguing
different circumstances.
that
So
if-
get the fuck out of here. No, fuck out of here. Fuck these people. Get deported. You fucking break the law, get fucked. Literally. Break the law, get fucked. Muhammad Khalil, get fucking ejected. Go Allah Akbar somewhere else, you fucking retard. Heather goes crazy and calls out her colleagues on live TV. Yeah, I bet.
There are still some people, even though everything is burning down around us,
Yes.
cannot see the flames, cannot feel the smoke or smell the smoke that is emanating from everywhere.
Well, sometimes you can't see the flames or the smoke because there's.
And understands that it's not just the lit parts, right?
Sometimes
It's
the
not
flames
just
are
the
hard to see
that
to
are
the human
being
eye,
impacted, but it's
especially
all of
when
us.
it's like a chemical burn.
Everything is burning down around us.
Guys, in case you forget, she is the leader. Well, who considers her the? Oh yeah, she's the Democrat leader of well, she's the Senate or House representative for Texas. One of Texas is was it Austin or some shit? I don't remember. One of Austin's fucking cities. I mean, Texas's cities. Sorry.
Turning our attention.
China responds to Trump's tariffs as trade war intensifies. Okay.
Now to Washington, President Donald Trump says his trade policies are working, with dozens of countries asking for new trade deals. Erica Brown, though, has more details on the escalating trade war between the United States and China as well from the White House.
Markets are rebounding at the end of a tumultuous week on Wall Street, with President Trump's tariffs sending stocks on a wild ride. The president posted on social media saying,
"Oh, did he have
another
cabinet meeting?
Policy. Very exciting
Is
for
that why
America
they're getting?
and the
Where
world.
did they get those?
It is moving along quickly."
Oh
The
yeah,
White House
Coachella's
says
going
talks
on
with
right now.
Dozens of trade partners are underway.
Oh,
We're
that's
communicating with them and giving them ideas so we can get to a point where the president can close these deals.
But China remains defiant in an escalating trade war, calling U.S. tariffs a joke. This week, Trump ratcheted up tariffs on Chinese imports to as much as 145%. China responded with 125% tariffs on U.S. goods starting Saturday.
If China continues to retaliate, it's not good for China. The United States of America is the strongest, best economy in the world.
President Trump has said he's waiting for Chinese President Xi Jinping's call to negotiate. But some U.S. business owners are questioning how long they can wait.
So is he waiting for China to make the first move here? I'm not going to comment on communications that are happening or may not be happening, or either way. We'll leave it to our national security team to get these discussions underway.
Sarah Wells imports more than 10,000 bags a year from China. She says the 145% tariff could devastate her business built around new moms.
Might as well be 1,000%. It's just
man,
insurmountable
that's a long
for small
fucking
businesses.
cabinet
I mean, I
meeting.
can't do that.
I had
That
no idea it was
exceeds the cost
yesterday.
of the manufactured
I thought it was
product.
today.
Friday, China slammed Trump's trade policy, saying it violates basic
guess
economic
we'll watch it
laws
today,
and
then.
common sense. Erica Brown, CBS News, the White House.
So, well,
The
yesterday
head of the
I
U.S. military
fucking
base in Greenland, Colonel
was
Susanna.
busy.
3 people are dead after a plane crash in Boca Raton. One
Yeah, here's
person on the
another
ground also hurt.
Boca
All
Raton
of this
plane
happening
crash.
on North Military Trail. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for WPBF 25 News at 4. I'm Jade Jarvis. We have been covering this story for you since early this afternoon, and right now we have team coverage. Let's start with my co-anchor Todd McDermott. And Todd, the crash happened this morning.
Again, Jay, this happened between 10 and 10:30 this morning. This twin-engine Cessna 310 going down. Boca Raton Fire Rescue says the call came in about 10:10. Apparently, after the plane took off, there was an immediate issue. This plane was headed for Tallahassee from Boca Raton Executive Airport. It appears to have had that mechanical issue. It caused it to go down, as you mentioned, on Military Trail. After continuously circling the airport for several minutes, it hit the ground and creating a fireball. A car passing by drove through the flames and hit a tree. The driver of that car has non-life-threatening injuries. That driver will be okay, but the 3 people, as you mentioned, on board did not survive. Boca Raton Police, the fire rescue immediately responded. Flames were put out. Traffic was diverted. The National Transportation Safety Board and FAA are now overseeing the investigation.
On behalf of the city, we express our heartbreak at this tragic loss of life. Our thoughts and prayers go out to the families and all affected of the deceased. We could be grateful in tragic moments like this for the swift action of our Boca Raton Fire Rescue Department and our Boca Raton Police Department, who work to minimize the harm and respond to the immediate concern from the fire.
That was Mayor Scott Singer of Boca Raton. In just a minute, we'll talk more about what could have happened today. Roads in the area have been closed for several hours, including I-95 interchange in both directions. Military Trail between Butts Road, Northwest 19th Street is still blocked right now, but the I-95 ramps are back open. The wreckage is under a tarp right now, directly next to the Tri-Rail tracks. The Tri-Rail quickly began bus service this morning to deal with the disruption of rail service. They're still reporting delays, but again, the wreckage is right next to the tracks, just one of the factors here in what happened this morning. I want to go down to our reporter, Rachel Perry, who is here with me in Boca Raton. And Rachel, you've been hearing from people who witnessed this.
That's right, Todd. We've been talking with witnesses all day, many who tell us they saw the plane flying super low before hearing a loud boom and seeing smoke fill the sky.
Oh my God.
Videos from witnesses on the ground here in Boca Raton show plumes of smoke in the air, flames taking over, and debris covering the area.
Holy plane just crashed.
Emergency vehicles can be heard in the distance, rushing to the scene of the plane crash here on North Military Trail. Soon learning 3 people on board were killed.
Are you okay? Who's in this car?
People in the area watching in complete disbelief.
So he's turning base, and we see him, and I say to my instructor, and I say out loud that, you know, he's way too low. And it's incredibly unfortunate. And so he was turning his final leg, which final, this is right near the airport. So he was coming in trying to land again, and he was just too low. Couldn't make it. Absolutely devastating.
We heard a loud boom and the building shake, and immediately we were kind of continuing to conduct the interview. The girls from the office had run outside and began to, you know, see what was going on, and they recorded some video, but it's just like a complete tragedy.
That was crazy. That was just crazy. Now we're still getting video into the newsroom, and we'll continue showing you that footage and updating you with any new information tonight at 5 and 6. For now, live in Boca Raton. Todd, back to you.
All right, Rachel, we'll see you then. We're also learning more about what this may have been, what the cause could have been. We talked with a commercial pilot and flight instructor about what he believes may have resulted as far as a mechanical issue in the aircraft before it went down. Ari Height joins me now with that part of the story. Ari?
Like you mentioned earlier, Todd, the FAA, the NTSB, they're the ones who are going to investigate this. They're the ones who are going to figure out exactly what went wrong here. But according to that pilot that we spoke to, he says this is very clearly, in his opinion, an engine failure. Let me go ahead now and show you some video that was taken this morning by somebody who was at the airport and who noticed something was wrong very quickly. What you will see in that video is that the plane just continues to go in circles. We spoke to Robert Katz about this. Katz has been a commercial pilot and flight instructor for 43 years. He says the plane took off to the northeast, and you can tell immediately it started going out of control.
The airplane starts one left turn, followed by another left turn, followed by a third, a fourth, and ultimately a fifth left turn. This is all due to a left engine failure that was not handled properly by the pilot flying.
Yeah, didn't fucking, for some reason, didn't fucking go back down.
The engine goes out. He says that it should be able to be landed very safely. He is not
Pilot
able to say why that did not
should have
happen.
fucking flown back down
Reporting
and
live in
fucking
Boca
not
Raton, Ari Height,
fucked with it,
WPBF 25 News.
Kept going though.
Ari, so much more information to come. Thank you for that. Our team coverage does continue throughout the afternoon into the evening. I'll be here in Boca Raton for this.
It
along
sounded
with our
like
team
pilot
of
error
reporters.
because they
You can
didn't
follow
do
the
the
story with
necessary
us,
checks or
stay up to
something.
date. Even if you're away from your TV, you can use WPBF.com and our free news app. Just turn on push notifications on your phone. We should also note in this circumstance just how close the plane's wreckage is to both the Tri-Rail tracks, as I mentioned, as well as the Town Center Mall and all the office parks in this area of Boca Raton.
Yeah, so basically this plane could have fucking crashed into one of those buildings and it could have been worse, basically.
A lot of people are here. 3 people lost their lives. This could have been even more
it could have been
catastrophic.
Worse. Yeah, exactly.
I'm staying here to give you more updates throughout our newscasts. For now, I'll send it back to Jade in the studio. Jade?
There you have it, another plane crash. Hell just froze over. She Wolverine. Tariffs on China. Tariffs on everyone else. China during Biden's presidency. China during Trump's presidency. China. Trump.
I understand the motivation behind the tariffs. And I can tell you, here's where President Trump and I do agree. We do need to make more stuff in America. More cars and chips. More steel and ships. We do need fair trade.
Hell really did freeze over.
Trump promised that he would lower costs, in fact, on day one, but what we've seen under his reckless leadership is that costs aren't going down in America. They're going up. Inflation is going up.
Breaking moments ago, brand new numbers showing inflation fell last month, much better than expected.
So this was actually a drop of 0.1%, negative 0.1%. That's the first time we've seen that since COVID. Year over year, the annual inflation rate was at 2.4%. This was also better than expected and a 6-month low, moving in the right direction. No.
No. After Trump hit them with 125% tariff. Oh yeah, that.
We fucked up.
Please, Donald, no more tariffs.
I want to introduce Grace Thomas. She's a local civil rights attorney. She's a Democrat. Grace.
Donald.
They them pronouns actually. Thank you.
Donald Trump. No more tariffs. Donald Trump, no tariffs. You real asshole. No, man, China asshole. China asshole.
We need independent China. Hong Kong, no more to stand with China. We need independence.
We need independence.
And what's your message to? Have you seen Donald Trump? Do you think he should step in?
Donald Trump don't trust China. China is asshole.
Donald Trump don't trust China. China is asshole. Fuck.
Don't trust China. China is asshole.
China is asshole.
Trust China. China is asshole.
Oh fuck. That's a good one. Fucking. Just like this one.
I never gave a shit. This was never to these. Touchdown. Paper. Unbreaded. Die.
Much we had a.
Okay. We'll watch that later. Don't just go. Okay. That was Memology, right? Or a meme to the left. Sorry, not Memology.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back
What do
to
you got?
Copper Jacket TV.
Hold on. Let's do this first.
More than 75 countries have now reached out to the Trump administration, eager to address the trade issues that have exploited America and hurt our workers in the process.
Yeah, baby.
The phones have
Okay,
been
Austin
ringing off the
Powers.
hook to make deals. And these countries wisely heeded President Trump's
Get
warning
in
not
my
to retaliate.
belly.
And as a result, they were rewarded with a 90-day pause and substantially lower reciprocal tariff rates during this period so potential solutions can be achieved.
Yep.
Past presidents just willingly accepted the failed status quo on trade that ripped off our workers and our companies. But that's not who this president is. He creates his own leverage and negotiates deals better than anyone else who has sat in the Oval Office before him.
I'm a goddamn American icon.
There it is. Breaking. Federal agencies investigated for gun rights infringements. Let's go, finally.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Copper Jacket TV. So earlier this week, I made a video talking about how the GOA had uncovered some very disturbing information about how the FBI and ATF were monitoring civilians out of state Second Amendment activities using the NICS system. Now, this information was obtained through a FOIA request. Now, typically when the government sends information through a FOIA request, they redact it, but the government accidentally forgot to redact it and sent the GOA the complete documentation. Well, that caught the attention of Congress, and now I've got an update for you. It looks like the FBI and the ATF might actually be held accountable for once.
Oh, finally. Are they getting fucking slapped? Because they finally leaked someone's information?
Shit, here we go! Now, real quick before we get started, if you're watching this video and you've not yet subscribed and you support the Second Amendment, consider hitting that subscribe button. It's free, it only takes a second, but it really does help us out here quite a bit. Thumbs ups are always appreciated, and make sure you jump down in the comment section. That's where all the action happens. So
It's
let's go ahead and get
race
started. Okay, so let's go ahead
bars!
and talk about what's going on here. So about a week ago, the GOA discovered that the ATF and the FBI were helping enforce state-level so-called assault weapons bans. And they were doing this through the NICS monitoring system, where they were monitoring individuals out of state Second Amendment activities. Now, this was being done at the federal level to help on state statutes. So these are state-level laws, state-level unconstitutional bans that, again, were being assisted by the federal government. I showed you guys these two documents that were discovered by the GOA right here. This is where law enforcement and other agencies could put somebody's name in, their personal identifying information, and they would send that off to these three-letter agencies. And for up to 180 days, these three-letter agencies would monitor the Second Amendment activities of these individuals, and they would report back to the state if anything was done out of state that obviously couldn't be monitored at the state level. So again, this was huge news that the federal government had been helping states enforce their unconstitutional, bans. So this was a very big deal. Well, again, that caught the attention of Congress. Now, thankfully, Senator Rand Paul has decided to launch an investigation into these three-letter agencies for their monitoring practices of civilians. Now, he sent a letter to both the ATF and the FBI requesting this information. Let's go ahead and take a look at that letter. Okay, so here's the letter right here where it says United States Senate Committee on Homeland Security and Government Affairs. This is dated April 10th, 2025. This is the letter to the new acting director of the ATF, Daniel Driscoll. Now it says, Dear Acting Director Driscoll, I write requesting information regarding the use of certain systems by the FBI and ATF. Pursuant to a Freedom of Information Act request by Gun Owners of America, the ATF inadvertently released unredacted documents regarding a system monitoring Americans seeking to exercise their rights under the Second Amendment. Upon realizing their error, the ATF initiated an ongoing, years-long effort to prevent the release of those documents. Based on limited public information, the NICS Audit Log Review monitoring system appears to allow ATF agents to request monitoring of a target for time frames ranging from 30 to 180 days after providing identifying information and applicable or potential violations of statute. Upon approval, the ATF would receive alerts from the FBI using the information in its NICS system, the existence of this program, and the ATF's long-standing push to conceal it from the public raises questions about its general use and its potential to infringe on American civil liberties. For this reason, I request you provide complete, original, and unredacted copies of the following no later than 5 p.m. Eastern Time on April 24th, 2025. 1. Records showing the number of individuals for whom ATF is requesting or has requested NICS monitoring since April 28th of 2020. Records demonstrating the purpose for which each individual has been monitored. Records discussing the legality of the NICS monitoring. Records demonstrating the number of individuals prosecuted as a result of being monitored by the program, and records demonstrating any reported unlawful or otherwise improper misuse of NICS monitoring by ATF personnel or contractors of ATF. I appreciate your attention in this matter. So basically what's been happening for years now is that the federal government has been monitoring citizens while they're out of their home state. So let's say, for instance, California. California has a lot of different bans and restrictions, right? When somebody leaves California, let's say a California resident were to come to Nevada, they wouldn't be under those same restrictions because they're no longer within California's jurisdiction. Those same laws don't apply. So they can get something different while they're here in Nevada. Well, California obviously doesn't like that.
But then
very
you can't
much.
take
They
it
still
over
wanna keep
back
tabs
to
on you.
California.
So all they have to do is simply put your name in this database.
Well, actually,
which can be
yes,
there
you
for up
could.
to 180 days.
As long
and
as-
if you do anything that puts you through the NICS system while you're out of state,
Oh, well, actually,
the
no, you
FBI would simply inform California of what your Second Amendment activity was while you were out of state, and
Yeah.
then relay that information back. So even though you're outside of California's jurisdiction, California would still know what you're doing thanks to the federal government. Keep in mind that the bans that California has don't apply here, and they don't apply on the federal level. There is no ban at the federal level.
Yeah.
So again, the federal government is basically helping states uphold their unconstitutional ban even when you were gone. So I'm hoping now that we have new leadership in these bureaucracies, with Patel being the director of the FBI and Driscoll being the director of the ATF, we can actually get some real substantive information that will help us discover how long this has been going on, who started it, who requested it, who has been providing this information, and all of these questions will be answered so that we can not only hold these agencies accountable, but also hold the people who are responsible for this accountable. I don't have high hopes that people will be held accountable, but at minimum, at least stop this practice from happening. So I wanted to let you all know about that today. I also want to thank the GOA for bringing this information to light, and I want to thank
Gun
Senator
Owners
Rand Paul for launching
Association.
this investigation into clear bureaucratic overreach and
Yeah, it's
infringements
pretty
of our
shady.
rights. So again, I wanted
As
to let you know
usual,
about
the
that.
federal
If you haven't
government being
subscribed to the
shady.
channel, consider hitting that subscribe
Well,
button.
nothing's
It's
changed.
free, but it really does help us out here quite a bit. Thumbs ups are always appreciated if you found this information useful. And leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about this. Thank you all very much. Have a great day.
Well, there you have it.